Where am I going to live? Where am I going to go? And what am I going to do?
That's the sound of helplessness, and it's echoed by many around the community who say once you have a criminal past, it's basically impossible to find a good, safe place to live. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson shows us one woman who got a second chance that saved her from being homeless.
It took a long time to get to where I am.
Inside a charming Moorhead home lives a kind woman by the name of Kim Brovold. She lives here with her husband, but life wasn't always this good.
Basically, it had to do with alcoholism is how I got to where I did.
She was married, raising children, and living the dream, but that quickly changed after multiple DUIs and some other troubles with the law.
Trying to get back up, and getting back up is, you know, you keep getting pushed back, and that's how people end up homeless and the whole thing.
Struggling with staying sober, she lost a job and couldn't pay her fines in full. And because of that, she says no one would rent to her.
It was frustrating because you start to feel, you know, like this piece of crap. Do I dare look at something else? Am I good enough to look at something else? Am I really this bad person? Am I really this horrible person that doesn't deserve a place to live?
She's not alone. We heard from over a dozen other people with their own stories of a skeleton in their closet, preventing them from finding housing that's stable, affordable, and safe. To find out how difficult it is, I tried myself. I called over a dozen apartment buildings in the area and asked
If you would rent to someone if they had a felony on their record.
No one told me no flat out. They all say something along the lines of, it depends. Depends on what type of crime you committed, how long ago it happened, and how it stacks up with other factors like your credit score.
It's very challenging for individuals because it is subjective.
Cody Schuler is the FM Coalition for Homeless Persons Director and recognizes the problem.
It's very tough, yeah.
The coalition has started a program that's privately funded. It gives property companies who choose to participate a fallback plan. If they rent to someone who they typically wouldn't and something goes wrong, the fund helps pay for damages or lost rent.
It's safer for them to be housed. It's safer for society, for everyone to be stably housed. And so that really, we need everyone to come around all of those same goals.
For the program to work, he says more properties need to be willing to try it.
I think we need to work more on helping people get back into society to be a better person, because if you're thrown out on the street, then you start this cycle, and once you're in this cycle, coming back is really hard.
For Brovold, breaking that cycle began with someone giving her a second chance.
You gotta have some hope somewhere to start to come out of this, and just throwing everyone to the curb is not the answer.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
In order to be a part of the landlord mitigation program, the person having a hard time renting a place needs to be referred to the program. If you want to help, you can donate to the FM Coalition for Homeless Persons or suggest to your rental property that they participate. And if you need help with a situation in your community, call us on our whistleblower hotline. That's 701-237-6576, and then leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Coming up after weather, how the community is rallying together to grant a dying woman's final wish. Plus, the Fargo Dome is about to step up their security. How it will impact you and the concerts you attend in just a few moments. But first, it's a quiet night, but still a little bit chilly for us. Robert, will we see any overnight snow?
Not a good chance for any snow. Might see an isolated flake downwind of the Lake of the Woods because of the northwesterly flow across the lake. Easier to say, not very easy to say that. A live look outside on the Coronado.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. No flakes here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, but we are still seeing some cloudy conditions. It's chilly out there. 29 feels more like 21 with those winds still out of the north at 8 miles per hour. A degree cooler over in Moorhead. Current temperature of 28. 21 already in the Devil's Lake area, 23 in Langdon, 25 up in Cavalier, 26 in Bemidji, 25 in the Thief River Falls area. Winds lighter than they were earlier, but still a bit of a breeze out there from the north. These winds will shift around to the east and southeast as we go through time, and by tomorrow some east-southeasterly breezes along with increasing chances of snow. Those breezes creating some wind chills, but calm winds up in Devil's Lake, so their air temperature the same as their wind chill. Cloud cover, we've got a lot of it. There are some breaks in the clouds, and that's where we're seeing the cooler temperatures up off the northwestern portions of the valley. Underneath those clouds, a lot of blue showing up, but that's just a little interference with the radar domes. No precipitation out there, but off to our west and southwest, a little bit of snow. That's just the beginning of what's going to affect us as we go through time tomorrow. More on that in the hour-by-hour forecast. Off towards the west, some rain in the higher elevation or lower elevations and snow in the higher elevations, and some rain making its way through the Great Lakes. Now, we're going to show you not only tomorrow's forecast, but right on into Saturday. Overnight tonight, some partly to mostly cloudy skies, quiet conditions, but by tomorrow morning, we'll start to see those clouds on the increase, and then here comes the snow by tomorrow afternoon, making its way into the southern valley. And if you were watching earlier this evening, it showed the heaviest line right about here. Well, that has shifted a little bit south. Will it stay there? Maybe. It may shift back to the north. It may shift even further south. But right now, that's what the model is showing. Next round is for the northern valley. And during the day on a Saturday, all in all, how much snow are we talking about? Well, again, this may fluctuate, but the heavier band south of the I-94 Highway 10 corridor, and then another pocket of heavier snow, 2 to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches there, and down here, 1 to 3 inches with isolated amounts of 5, maybe 6 or more inches of snow. So if you got travel plans in either location over the next 48 hours, you want to keep it tuned to the latest forecast. Here in Fargo, we'll start off in the low 20s, not much of a warm up by lunchtime into the lower 30s, and should start to see some snow falling by later on in the afternoon, and temperatures right around freezing. Picture of the day, a gorgeous shot, a winter beauty up in Grand Forks. Thanks so much to Melanie for sending that photo in. Going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And again, increasing chances of snow late Friday, Saturday. That may end as a wintry mix before moving off towards the north. A few more snow showers on Sunday and again on Monday with some colder temperatures, but warming up nicely as we head into next week. A lot of people headed down to Brookings for the SDSU-NDSU game. Could be some slick conditions if leaving tomorrow night or Saturday morning, so check those roads before heading out.
And check your app, too.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep that handy, the Valley News Live Weather app.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robert.
You got it.
A prominent local businessman has been convicted of a lesser charge after he was originally facing a felony count of hiring a minor for sex. CEO and president of Don's Car Wash, Dan Durr, has been found guilty of hiring an individual to engage in sexual activity, which is a Class B misdemeanor. Durr was facing a felony charge of patronizing a minor for sexual activity after he was arrested. This along with 7 others in the Guardian Angel human trafficking operation in Fargo. Defense attorney Cash Ayland says Durr pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charge because he responded to an online ad intending to hire an adult for sex. He will be sentenced at a later date. A Fargo man is facing charges in both Clay and Grand Forks counties, and officers are looking for others who could have been involved in a robbery and abduction spanning from Fargo to Grand Forks. Authorities say 19-year-old Muhammad Ali was arrested by Grand Forks police this morning following the incident that happened early yesterday morning. The victim's mother reported her son was attacked and robbed by 3 men outside of their apartment near 13th Avenue and 44th Street South in Fargo. The victim was then forced to drive the 3 men to Grand Forks and had to go to the hospital for treatment there. But police now say he has been released. The 2017 Bison football season isn't over quite yet, but changes are already underway for how fans will enter the Fargo Dome for the 2018 season. Valley News Team's Molly Casey explains just how security measures will be changing.
We're not looking at an airport security TSA metal detector, but obviously it's going to be different than what the process is now.
Getting into events at the Fargo Dome is about to get high tech. As it is, Fargo Dome attendees can walk through the doors and into the dome, but come the start of the 2018 Bison football season, it may take a little longer.
It's on to the City Commission for the Fargo Dome to purchase walk-through metal detection or walk-through metal detectors for another added level of security here at Fargo Dome.
That stepped-up security could also entice bigger-name acts.
There are definitely tours, concert tours out there or promoters out there that do have a requirement, whether it's wanding or walk-through metal detectors.
The metal detectors will be installed in the dome with the structure as is. But over time, improvements will be made to make the entrance areas bigger and to make getting through the metal detectors that much easier.
I think we'll be talking about in the coming months to try to widen or expand or find alternative routes through the concourses and the entry vestibules, particularly on the west and south.
The budget for purchasing and installing the machines will be approved at the next Fargo City Council meeting. And once they're in, Sobolik says it may take a while for fans and staff to warm up to them.
And we just ask for patience. It's obviously going to be a learning process.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Sobolik says the walk-through metal detectors will be tested during smaller events leading up to the start of the Bison football season. He also suggests getting to the Fargo Dome a few minutes earlier for those events. A dying Moorhead woman's last wish is coming true this weekend, and the entire community is getting involved. Debbie Berger has end-stage liver disease. And with the snow and cold here, going outside will be difficult for Debbie. It's likely that this Saturday will be her last time leaving her home. That's why the community is stepping up and fulfilling her last wish.
It's hard to see such a happy woman home and dying, so I'm trying to make sure that she can have what she wants for Christmas, and that's to see these lights, and so we're going to do it as soon as possible.
Debbie will be traveling from Moorhead to West Fargo Saturday night. Over 25 houses are already planning on decorating their homes with Christmas lights. And Debbie's daughter says the more the merrier. House Republicans proudly unveiled their tax overhaul plan today. It proposes tax cuts worth $1.5 trillion or more. Now, the plan shrinks the number of tax brackets from our 7 to 4. It also doubles the standard deduction to $12,000 for individuals and $24,000 for married couples. It increases the child tax credit to $1,600. The biggest winners are U.S. businesses, which would see their corporate tax rate drop from 35% to 20%. The bill doesn't touch popular 401k contributions, and charitable giving remains basically unchanged. But it would eliminate deductions for medical expenses and student loans. The House Ways and Means Committee is expected to take up the bill next week. The president wants it to pass the House by Thanksgiving. And President Trump nominated Jerome J. Powell to head the Federal Reserve, replacing Janet Yellen. The president announced his decision in the Rose Garden ceremony this afternoon. Powell, who has served as governor on the board of Federal Reserve since 2012, was one of several finalists being considered for the job. The 64-year-old Powell said if confirmed, he will seek stable prices and maximum employment, and that he will continue to ensure that the Federal Reserve remains vigilant. The suspect charged with carrying out a domestic terrorist attack in New York City is being held without bail in a federal jail. This is after the attack near the World Trade Center memorial that left 8 people dead. Sayfullo Saipov is facing federal terrorism charges, including violence and destruction of a motor vehicle resulting in death. Police believe he acted alone. Saipov told authorities that he was inspired by ISIS when he rammed a rented truck into pedestrians. Investigators are in the process of going through his background and questioning his friends. Police have recovered nearly 100 videos and thousands of ISIS propaganda from his phones.